Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 29th day of May, 2023. I hope you're having a good weekend this weekend. And if you're having a 3-day weekend, even better. I hope you're enjoying that on this Monday. Hope everybody's safe at your house and that you and your family are enjoying and being safe and in good health. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, who, along with the first responders, are out here every day trying to save lives. Also, those that pick up garbage for us to keep places clean and disease-free, as well as those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and the children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those that are the victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution and child prostitution, human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on the profiteers of these things. And double curses on those perverts that create the demand of which the other perverts provide the supply. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children homeless in the United States of America, mostly children, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today, I want to talk about the upcoming trade season. Right now, again, I mentioned it's the 29th day of May. Before you know it, it's going to be June, a couple of days actually. And then, of course, you're going to be dealing with the draft, and then you're going to be dealing with free agency and trades. Starting actually on draft night, you'll start dealing and seeing trades. Now, one of the things I love about the Knicks front office, many things I like about them, but one of the things I love is their posture. What do I mean by that? Well, generally, you think of posture, right? You think it's standing straight up and keeping your back straight. Metaphorically speaking, posture is a position you take where you stay straight, right? What do I mean by that? Well, you saw an example of it last summer when the Knicks were dealing with Donovan Mitchell. Now, you heard, and I mean that, you heard a lot of outlets that supposedly know what's going on inside give you all kinds of things that were going on, or they claim were going on inside, deals that Leon Rose was going to make, deals that Danny Ainge was demanding, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, what you have to go with is what happened. The Knicks did not make a deal for Donovan Mitchell. Instead, they re-signed R.J. Barrett to $100 million. That's what happened. That's the bottom line. So what actually took place? Well, again, you don't have to guess. There was a discussion about a trade between the Utah Jazz and the New York Knicks. And how do we know this happened? Because Donovan Mitchell came out and said, I thought I was going to be a Knick. So we know they were discussing a trade. And it must have been close for Donovan Mitchell to say, I thought I was going to be a Knick, while he's in the Cleveland press conference. But he wasn't a Knick. And why not? Because the Don walked away from the table. Now, that's what I mean when I say posturing. When you go into a deal, and this is what, again, I love about Leon Rose, he has a price in mind when he's inquiring about a player, say a Donovan Mitchell, or a team is inquiring about one of his players, say Julius Randle. He has a price already in mind that he has discussed with his management team, maybe even Tom Thibodeau. But Tom has some juice in there, but not as much as we think. Management makes the decision. Okay, so he has discussed internally what the price is worth, whether he's sending out a player or receiving a player. You don't start negotiation. Nobody does with your highest and best price. I know people claim that, but you don't start like that. But you have a point at which you will not go past. You have a bottom for which you would not drop if you're selling a player. Okay? And that's posturing. And at any time, the best deals you will ever see made, if you are in sales, you know what I'm going to say. The best deals that you make are the ones you are prepared to walk away from. The ones that are really juicy, that will really be sweet for you, but you're totally prepared to walk away. And that your person that you're dealing with, your persons you're dealing with, also understand you will walk away and not look back. That's how you get big deals done. That's Leon Rose. That's posture. Okay? So oftentimes, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, and it's not just him, but it's the majority of media, of basketball media in national, and a lot of times, a lot of people model their platforms after national media in order to try to be like national media. And in these situations, people make like it's, give everything away to get a certain player. Like just break up your team and give away a multiple draft picks, give away multiple young players, and you have this one guy. It's stupid. You don't do that. Okay? Just because LeBron, Bosh, and Wade got together in the recent years, and then before that you had Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, people have been trying to do that, like, break up their whole team. But even actually Boston didn't do that. They still had Rajon Rondo. They still had a solid bench. Miami did, though, and they won. And now people think, or they were thinking, they could do that. Just give away the whole team, get some superstars, and you can win a championship. It's possible, but the right way to do it, as we talked about, and this goes along with the posture, the right way to do it is you draft well, you scout well, you draft well, and you develop well. It's the longer way, but it's the more surer way. It's the long-term sustainable winning way. And before you even go through those steps, you have a solid management team that understands how to build long-term sustainable winning and wants to do it the right way. No shortcuts. Okay? When you have that, you can build over a long term. And the reason not every team is that good is because most teams won't do it. And a lot of times in New York, we hadn't had it for decades because the fans didn't want it. Y'all all wanted instant gratification, and Dolan was willing to try to get that for you. And it always failed. Okay? So, because New York is not like Miami or any other city. New York is unique, and it's very difficult to play in. Okay, you can be the king of the earth in New York, or you can be the bottom of the scrap heap in New York in the same week. Okay, that's how it is. So Leon and his crew, they take a posture. They know what they would pay. They already have an idea of what players they think would fit in their system, or what players they may trade. But they're not giving away anything in the trade, and they're not overpaying for the purchase. I know this is very difficult for Knicks Nation in many cases to grasp because Knicks Nation is extreme just by nature. Y'all will be extreme on one side or extreme on the other. Somebody either is garbage or they're a superstar. But y'all can't be balanced a lot of times. A lot of y'all can, but some of y'all can't. And that's why that drives some of the trade ideas that come out of some of y'all. Okay? But Leon is not like that. He's going to count the cost. And at every stage, he's ready to walk away. And especially this is case now because you developed, you drafted well. Leon's first year in New York, he inherited Julius Randle, he inherited Mitchell Robinson, and he inherited R.J. Barrett. Okay, he inherited those guys. Then he drafted, as we know, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride. He drafted those players. Then he signs Josh Hart. He signs Isaiah Hartenstein. He signs Jalen Brunson. And between all of these strategic moves, he has a team, a good team. Okay, a good team. The team that was the fifth best team in the Eastern Conference this past season. The second time they were top 5 in the last 2 seasons. And so he's building a good team. And now that he has a stable of talent, yes, at this stage of the development, yes, you can get a player that can vault you to the next level. Just 1 or 2 replacements, and you can vault to the next level. That's the way it works in the NBA. Just a couple of pieces. You don't necessarily need to trade everybody and get a superstar, unlike what some would suggest. You just need a couple of pieces that fit perfectly together that you can add to the team you built and bring you to the next level. That's what you need. Okay, it's got to be the right pieces though. Now, a couple of years ago, Leon tried to do that, tried to address this whole shooting issue by bringing in Kemba Walker, and point guard issue, bringing in Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. It didn't work because neither of them can play defense. Yet you see, you have a defensive coach. You need a defensive mindset. Defense wins championships. I don't care how bad the shooting is. You must always have defense. And if the pursuit of shooting hurts your defense, forget the shooting. Get the defense, especially defense and rebounding. Okay? Very important, especially in playoff basketball. Some say, well, the Knicks shot terrible and they lost the series. Yep. But look, some of y'all forget. Some of y'all didn't even pick them to be in the play-in, and you whining about missing shots in the playoffs. Some of y'all didn't even pick them to make the play-in. And now that they there, y'all whining about them shooting. They weren't supposed to go this far. I had them at 45 wins and the 6th seed. They were 47 wins and the 5th seed. So they outperformed. Not only that, they won the first round. They ain't did that in 10 years. So it wasn't just that they couldn't shoot. They just wasn't ready yet. They'll get there. Okay? They'll get there. The shooting will come. I feel like we already got it. Some of y'all tripping. We just need our young guys, like my Grimes do, to get more reps, more minutes. Give me some Deuce minutes. Give me some Obi minutes. And you're going to see more shooting. Those guys all shoot well. They just need more minutes consistently to shoot the ball. Now, not that they couldn't add a shooter, but I'm not messing up my whole team to do that. All right? We got a squad. See? So we can add a shooter, sure. But he better play both sides of the basketball, which is why we've been talking about like a KP. He can play both sides of the ball. Can guard the rim, and obviously the young man can shoot. But I'm just using him as an example. So you want somebody like that that fits right in, seamlessly fits into your squad, and moves you to the next level. So when you're thinking about trades, and you're going to see you're already seeing a lot of rumors, a lot of suggestions, mostly bad ones, to give away, first of all, when you have Obi Toppin, who you drafted 8th overall, and Emmanuel Quickly, he drafted 25th overall. You do not trade both of them in the same year. You develop these guys. You keep one of them. And they play two different positions. One's a power forward, one's a point guard. Okay? So you might trade one, but you keep the other. Okay? It's balance. It's culture. Some of y'all still don't get that culture thing. Some of you are foolish enough to talk about trading Mitchell Robinson. It's not that he's untouchable, knuckleheads. We drafted him. We developed him. We got him on a cheap contract, $60 million. Unless you getting something that's going to blow you away and there ain't that much out there, you keeping that man. Okay, you deal with him missing foul shots. You deal with that. And you hope he develops a baby hook. He got the talent to do it. But you don't just be dishing him for nobody. Okay? MB, $50 million a year. Okay, I can see that. But he ain't coming to the Knicks, so we can stop tripping now. He's not coming to the Knicks. It ain't happening. Okay? And that's another thing. Sports tends to create fantasy. Okay, that's fun. Fantasy could be fun. But when you're talking about my Knicks and you're talking about what we really going to do and add, some of y'all need to get off some of those serious drugs. We ain't trading Mitch Rob for nobody. Embiid ain't coming. The Joker ain't walking through that door. We got Mitch Rob. And he's the anchor, one of the top defenses in the NBA. And we're going to keep him. Okay? If we need to move him to the bench, because the Knicks mob deep is mob deep. They didn't play that well in the playoffs. But again, some of you are so short-sighted and short-minded, you can't remember. Over the last 3 years, our mob deep been one of the best benches in the NBA and will be again. Just need to grow. See? But with regard to the posture, don't start tripping with everybody else that's tripping, y'all. Leon got a price, for the players he's interested in. He's got a price for the players that other teams might be interested in. If they meet his price, he'll make the deal and he'll make his team better. If they don't meet his price, we have no problem walking away from all tables and continuing with what we got. We could do that, okay? Because all our youngins are growing. They're all getting better. And with regard to the draft, we're going to talk more about that. But we don't need a draft pick this year. We don't. See, you need draft picks when you are starting your rebuild. You need draft picks when you got a bunch of veterans and you need to just, look at the future for your young blood going forward. But you don't need draft picks when you got a whole bunch of players in the mid-20s. And that's your whole squad pretty much in the mid-20s. And they're now developed, from most of them, from what you drafted. You don't need no draft pick right now because they ain't going to play. Okay? If you did, then you're putting that person to develop for later. That's why I like the kid Taylor Hendricks, because he's 19. He ain't ready for prime time right now. But you let him develop in the G League. You let him come up slowly. And then you coddle him and develop him. And in 2 years, you got a player. Okay? But not right now. All right? So that's what I'm saying. But if we don't get this guy, the world ain't going to end. If they could trade up and get something, and that's why they're doing right now. The Knicks, of course, again, one of the things I like about our new management team, due diligence. They're out there looking at all the players. They're out there scouring them. Why are they doing that? If they see a deal they can get done, it's not necessarily probably won't be a top 5, top 10 player. But if they can see a deal they can get done for the betterment of the team going forward, they'll do it. If not, forget it. More than likely, when you're looking at Leon Rose and them, they're looking cheap. They're looking something they can get in the second round, end of the first if they need to. Something they could trade down and get. That's what they're looking for. Okay, and they're good at it. They're very good at it. Jericho Sims, the 60th pick. Deuce McBride, the 36th pick. Mitchell Robinson, the 30-something pick. They're good at it. They know what they're doing. Okay, so that's what they're looking at now. But if we don't get no pick in this year's draft, that's no problem. That wasn't accidental or mistake that they ended up like that. They know they don't need no pick. They got 11 number ones going forward. Okay, we're in good shape. All right, we're in good shape. But the posture, I want you to remember that, because you're going to see all kind of wild speculation in the next couple of weeks. Wild speculation, 7 trades, and trade 5 players from your team to go get this one player. Remember, we could walk away. You all enjoy your Memorial Day. Shalom.